Law very often is criticized for being gender blind, and rightly so. Now, why is this the case? For many, many years, women have been not actors in lawmaking, not even for years, for centuries. What that meant is that many laws, many rules have been created by men, for men, and taking purely male perspective into account. Now, this meant that in practice, women's experiences have been pretty much sidelined within the legal system, within the rules, legal structures, and within the criminal justice system. Just to give you one example, and there are many, but this is not a lecture, so I'm mindful of my time here. It is only in 1991 that the law in England and Wales recognized marital rape, which means it recognized that a husband can rape his wife. Luckily, times do change, and however slowly, so do the laws. We now have laws in place which prohibit and punish various forms of violence against women and girls. And many of them are a result of tireless campaigning by many women and some men, both at local and international levels. Now, whilst it's quite easy to feel that laws that are created in New York, in Geneva, in Strasbourg, are quite far removed from what's happening in Milton Keynes or in Buckinghamshire, the ripple effects that these laws have real impact on women living here. And I would like to give you a couple of examples of why this is the case. For quite a few years now, violence against women and girls and domestic violence have been recognized as human rights violations, not only by the European Court of Human Rights, but also more recently within the Istanbul Convention, which is the first European treaty, Council of Europe treaty, on preventing violence against women and girls and domestic violence. UK has been a party only for just over a year, but that's quite an important development in this country. What that means is that violence against women, sexual violence and domestic violence are not just acts that are committed between private individuals. It's not something that just happens in private. What it means is that by viewing it as human rights violation, states can also be held accountable for failing to prevent violence against women and girls or for failure to investigate, punish, and remedy it. Now, thanks to international laws, such as the UN Convention on Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women, that's quite a handful, so this is called CEDAW in short, and Istanbul Convention, we now have a concept of positive obligations. What that means is that states that are parties to international agreements are required to do more than just enact legislation to prevent violence against women and girls. They must put systematic measures and solutions in place to prevent, to investigate, punish, and remedy violence against women and girls. Now, what is more, United Kingdom, as party to these conventions, is obliged to report periodically and comprehensively on actions taken in respect of its international obligations to tackle violence against women and girls. These reports not only ensure transparency at an international and local levels, but also accountability. And we have seen them being quite powerful tools for civil society organizations that campaign for change. So, seems like all is good. We've got international laws, and thanks to those laws, we have laws and structures in place in the UK which enable accountability for violence against women and girls. This in itself, of course, is significant. But at the same time, there are ongoing and new challenges in tackling violence against women and girls. We see the rise in online and technologically facilitated violence against women and girls, something that Emily has mentioned. This has real and lasting effects on the lives of women and girls. According to Girl Guiding, 37% of girls and young women aged 11 to 21 have been sent upsetting photos or content by people they know. This is a rise of 17% from 10 years ago. 60% of 11 to 21-year-olds who responded to the Girl Guiding survey said they worried about the negative impact that being online had on their mental health. We also see the rise in misogyny, not only online, where we witness the rise of misogynistic influencers who promote violence against women and girls and often incite to it, quite openly so, but also amongst the police force. Institutional misogyny is a real and serious obstacle to women reporting violence and one of many barriers to justice for victims of violence against women and girls. Now, these issues, of course, cannot continue unchallenged. Whilst the law, international or national, provides very good tools to address violence against women and girls once it occurred, the law alone cannot and will never be able to prevent violence against women and girls. It is important to remember that violence against women and girls is predominantly a societal problem. It is a societal challenge. It has roots in patriarchy, misogyny, and gender inequalities. And it is therefore a task for each and every one of us to take action against violence against women and girls, whether it's online or offline, and not just on the 25th of November. Thank you.